So today we're going to be looking at a 2-bedroom bath and a half fifth wheel, but unfortunately for me, my truck was involved in a slight incident, so I'm not able to move the camper to get them plugged in under power to show you like air conditioning and things like that. But honestly, it's just a blessing for me to be able to do so. But today we're going to be looking at this mid-profile 2024 Forest River Impression, model number 330BH. If you're new here, I do welcome you to the channel, and let's get started. So we are going to start on the inside first, but let's look at some of the numbers on the vehicle before we head inside to give you an idea just on how big this thing really is, even though it's still considered a mid-profile. So dry weight as it currently sits of 10,949 pounds, 41 feet of total length. You've got available cargo capacity of 3,293, and that's quite impressive. You're riding on 16-inch wheels, E-rated tires. You're riding on 6,000-pound axles. You've got a gross vehicle weight rating of 14,280, and I'll be sure to list the hitch weight about here in the video. Let's step inside, get you turned around. But the Impression is going to have 3 total slides, 2 of which are right here in your living area, between your living and your kitchen. 6, 9, 12, 15. And I'm going to provide you with an estimated 15 feet of walking space between the door and the fireplace right here. Love the new interior colors. If you are familiar with the Impression lineup, you know what the doors on the Impression looked like last year, and it was not a very easy thing to sell to a customer when you're looking at a door that looks like a zebra stripe this way. Big improvement. Starting in the kitchen though, your countertops are what I call a pressed membrane. Oops, hold on. The humidity's starting to get to my camera, but the countertops are what I call a pressed membrane countertop. That's pretty much a hard heated plastic that is just wrapped over that material. It prevents it from swelling in the event that it ever makes contact with water, like right here around the sink. Stainless steel undermount sink, that's a drying rack. A change of countertops though, over next to the oven. I kind of wish they would just stay continuous that. Also, same countertop there and there. Pretty standard Furrion oven, 3 burners on the top, and maybe room for a pie or a couple of biscuits. Decent amount of storage, and pretty much your standard, I call it a gas station microwave. Glass accent. Your wood panels are not real wood. This is more of a wrapped wallpaper type. So on board the coach you have, it's called the Camp Anywhere package. You've got a 100-watt solar panel found on the roof. It does have a 30-amp smart charger found outside, and that keeps the battery charged. So that's another improvement from last year. Now they are including that battery, and all of that keeps this fridge running while you're in transportation. But a lot of components on board of the new Impression are all 12-volt operational, such as your lights, your slide, the awnings outside, the spark to initiate the flame for the on-demand water heater, by the way. Water heater on board is a 60,000 BTU. So your slide box height over here is right at 5'10". The carpet has been removed and replaced with this woven type material, and there's the padding underneath. I had someone ask in the video, how does this feel on the feet? And I mentioned the padding underneath. It is actually kind of spongy. But another comment they had was sand being trapped inside of this material, making it not too easy to clean up. If you have any experience with that, let us know in the comments down below. Your window treatments have been changed also. Very thick curtain. It's got like a plastic material on the back, fabric on the front, and all the windows on board are already tinted from the factory. The sofa does open up to a sleeper. I'll try to include a couple of videos about here showing you exactly what that looks like in its open position. So your heat on board, you've got 2 different sources. You got a cabinet heat, that's a 35,000 BTU furnace. The spark, of course, is initiated from the 12-volt system going back to the solar panel. But you also have the electric fireplace. Sorry, I can't turn it on because I'm not plugged in at the moment, just utilizing that solar package. But all electric fireplace, these produce right at 5,000 BTUs of heat. It does a really great job of just heating the living and kitchen area. And that's a sound bar. You've got zones 1 and 2 speakers, so inside and out. And a really big flat screen TV with room possibly to upgrade, making that even bigger. So we said we'd start all the way in the front. So let's look at your storage, and then we'll make our way upstairs towards the bathroom, and then the bedrooms. So this is your pantry, double door pantry, motion activated lights, 3 shelves, some type of organizer included also, and way up here you have additional cabinet spacing. So heating and cooling, I mentioned heating, but let's talk some of the cooling. You've got 2 air conditioners on board, and I like the additional wood strips, but you've got one 15K, it is whisper quiet. I'm closing these up here. And the second is a 13.5. Both of the thermostats are here in the hallway. So this is all your main slide switches, light switches, your tank monitoring for your holding tanks as well, and both of the thermostats. And this is during a really hot day here in Mississippi. It's probably about 116 degrees outside, real feel with the heat index. And this is the controls for your on-demand water heater. Let's look at your bathroom. So stepping upstairs, you have a ceiling height right at 6'7.5", almost 6'8". The pan for the shower is flush mounted, so you get all that additional headroom plus additional with the skylight. Your shower curtain is an accordion type, and that is a porcelain foot flush toilet. So speaking of the on-demand water heater or tankless, if you desire a hot water temperature of 110 degrees, go ahead and set the temperature outside of that thermostat for 110. And whenever you get ready to shower or wash your hands, you can just turn on the hot. That way you are not battling with the cold water to keep one continuous temperature. So heading upstairs now, you got a queen size bed. There is storage underneath, and you also have the hanging closets to the left and to the right. Let's look at this one first. Pretty cool little organizer and some storage down there. You've got an automotive grade windshield on the front. There is tint already on the windshield, black roller shade. And this is the 3rd slide right here, this brown little box. That is your closet slide. You've got washer and dryer connections at the foot of the bed, and that's the second 13.5 air. If you decided to add a stackable washer and dryer, that's where that will go. And you can possibly mount maybe a 32 or a 38-inch TV here, and those are the connections up here. Your wardrobe slide, you've got a hanging rod that runs the entire length, and some additional organizers down here. Let's see if I can't open the bed. Lots of carpet. That's one thing I wish all manufacturers would just go ahead and get rid of, is the carpet. That's just my opinion though. What do you guys think? So let's head downstairs and go back to the guest bedroom. So heading all the way to the back is the first of the 2 full-size beds on board. And just how cool is it though to be able to close this thing up in the early mornings and make it into more of a sitting room, which gives you a lot more move around room. Right now this is your sitting. You got lots of storage space. Check out the ladder. That's been upgraded from last year. It was a wooden ladder, now it's metal. This is the loft. And I do believe you are from here to the ceiling right at 30 inches high. That's probably equivalent to a queen size bed. Back down to this. This is called a universal queen. So this can be changed from either sitting while you're lounging, watching the television, which could be mounted up here, that's your half bath, or you can open this thing up to a queen size bed for maybe larger guests, grandparents, mom and dad that come along with you. Gives you a lot of additional sleeping. Plus, it's kind of nice also having this additional half bath right here off of your guest bathroom. I'm going to open this door up to give you a better view though of the half bath. That is a porcelain foot flush toilet, and notice the white countertops. They've been in the bathroom, so I wish they would just go ahead with the solid continuous look on the countertops all the way through and through. And if you just happen to be on a lake, talking about the best view in the house, let's look at the price of the MSRP. So if you'd like to find more additional photos or some information on this particular model, there is a link down below that takes you back to my website where you can view more additional photos as well as our contact information. But at date and time of making this video, the MSRP, and maybe you can pause it here, is $85,780. And again, our price can be found over at that link found at the website down below. If you don't want to see anything on the outside, drop me a couple of thumbs up. If you haven't had the opportunity to do so, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I do my best to upload at least 1 or 2 videos a week, depending on inventory flow as well as the weather. The temperatures have just been absolutely crazy here, plus no rain. It's so dry. Well, let's start all the way on the front. So you got a fully molded fiberglass front cap, and there is a gel coat protecting that from the sun's rays. Automotive grade windshield, and there is your docking light strip. Your kingpin, just a standard Rhino box, is a very, very simple upgrade to make on your RV. And again, if you're towing this, I'd recommend towing it with at least a 3/4 ton diesel at the minimum. Your propane bottles are going to be found right over here. Another simple upgrade, you can definitely get the larger 20-pound bottles in there if needed. And this is the pass-through compartment, but it's also called the docking station. That's the term I utilize. Water lines come up through the floor connecting to either the city water connection or maybe the black tank flush, depending on what you're doing at the time. There we go, black tank flush up there. And I'm pretty positive you have 2 city water connections. One is for your fresh water holding tank, and the other is for your regular city water flow. You're already prepped to receive a filter if you decided to add that. City water connections again, cable satellite prep. So you got radiant foil wrapped all the way around the floors. There's the floor joist. And this is the controls to operate the leveling system. So you've got a 6-point leveling system on board. 2 legs in the front, as well as 2 legs in the back. And the controls are right over here. But just by simply pressing one button, the coach will in fact level itself. Or if you're needing to raise and lower like the front end, it's going up. Or you can just raise the rear, just depending on what you like to do. This is your 50-amp power cord connection, and this is the 60,000 BTU on-demand water heater, and that is the exhaust for your furnace. So sewer connections on board, you're gonna have 2 different ones. You've got several different handles to pull. You've got gray, black, and another gray. That's one connection. Back in the back behind the tire, you're gonna have additional connections there. This is a rack and pinion slide coming through a very beefy 10-inch I-beam construction. You also have heated holding tanks on board. Inside where all the controls for your slide operations and everything are at, there's also a switch for heated holding tanks. There's a shot of the underbelly. These are really nice panels. They're 4x8 sheets. Makes it a lot easier for the technician to drop the underbelly in the event that you have something wrong. And that is the second outlet for the sewer connections. So coming around the back, this is kind of impressive to me. 3,000 pound towing capacity hitch. There is also lights to extend, like if maybe you have additional trailer lights or whatever, the plug is already wired for you. 3,000 pound towing capacity on your hitch. That's nice. And this little tube is for your sewer lines once you're finished camping. Blindside camera prepped as well, way up top. Fully walkable roof. 2 different awnings. Both of them are probably realistically between 12 to 15 feet. I'm terrible with measurements. You guys can go ahead and tell me, it's quite okay. And you have LED lights under both of the awnings. So if you're a big fan for cooking outside, this is nice. Really thick baggage door, held up with a magnet for the new camp kitchen. Got the upgraded capital griddle, some additional storage, and your mini fridge. Goodyear tires. That's very nice to see, made in the USA. And that is the ground control system for the 4-point fully automatic leveling system. Step above steps with a 4-step entry. These rotate inside the door. Let's see if we can't do that. Very easy to do. And you do have a friction hinge on both of the entryways. Here's your outdoor speakers. Maybe you can pause that. A lot of information always listed on these things. The other side of your storage. That's the smart charger for your 100-watt solar panel. This is pretty much maintaining the life of your battery. Baggage door, nice and thick. But overall, a pretty cool little coach. It's not too heavy, but again, it's not too light. It's very, very, very long. But I hope you guys like it as much as I have. Continue to like and subscribe. Come see us.